The next part of the Z800 service is to change the brake fluid. It's heavily debated as to whether you should take your bike to the dealer to get your brake fluid changed. This is so that it can also flush out the ABS pump. Now, I've changed the brake fluid on lots of bikes, many of them with ABS, and I've never had any problem. So it's entirely up to you whether you want to take it to the dealer and pay £60. The tools you're going to need for a brake fluid change are a 10mm spanner, a syringe is handy, a Phillips screwdriver, a bottle with a siphoning tube, and of course clean brake fluid. The next thing you're going to want to do is cover your bike. Brake fluid is very corrosive, so you don't want to get any of this on your paintwork. Next, we're going to remove the brake fluid reservoir. There's 2 screws. Obviously on some bikes this will differ. Have a rag handy. This will soak up any brake fluid. Now the brake fluid in there looks quite clean, but of course we're going to remove it as it can tend to take on water as it's hygroscopic. The syringe is very handy. Suck it out carefully and then have a container at hand to put it in. Remember to dispose of it properly. Here's a fresh container of brake fluid. It costs next to nothing. I think this was about £4. Don't be using some old brake fluid you've had left around the garage, because remember it does take on water. Remember to carefully pour it in, you don't want to splash it all over your bike. Have a bit of soapy water and a rag handy just in case you do. At the caliper we've attached a flexi pipe into a bottle. We've also attached a 10mm spanner to open and close the bleed nipple. We're going to pump the brake several times, hold the brake lever in, and then we're going to open the bleed nipple, close the bleed nipple, and then release the brake slowly. Repeat. Open the bleed nipple, close the bleed nipple, release the lever, and keep doing this till you've flushed a sufficient amount of brake fluid through the system. You may want to go for a full reservoir full per caliper. Repeat this procedure for the other side. And when you're finished, replace your rubber diaphragm and your seal, wiping off all the excess brake fluid and water on the inside. Sometimes your diaphragm will turn itself inside out like this. Just poke it back the correct way, straightforward. Now onto the rear brakes. Remember to clean off your brake fluid reservoir cap. You don't want to get all dirt inside your system. Unscrew the retainer and simply take your cap off. Again, you have a diaphragm, put it somewhere safe and clean. Again, using the syringe, remove all the old brake fluid. And as you did before, on the front end, connect the siphoning tube up with your spanner to the bleed nipple. It's exactly the same, and top your brake fluid reservoir up with clean brake fluid. Now you're going to operate the foot pedal with one hand, as you did with the front brake lever. Pumping the brake, holding it down, then opening the bleed nipple. Then closing the bleed nipple before releasing the pressure on the brake pedal. Repeat. Close the nipple, let go of the pressure on the pedal. And again, keep doing this until you've flushed sufficient brake fluid through your system. That's pretty much it. Once you've cleaned and replaced your diaphragm, put your cap back on and give the bike a little wipe down to make sure there's no brake fluid over any of the panels. Quite a straightforward procedure. If you like that, hit like, and if you'd like to subscribe, subscribe.